the domestic cat. For millennia, this small predator has carved out its existence in the shadows and corners of the world. It navigates a landscape of stone, wood, and concrete, moving with silent precision through environments both ancient and new. In moments of stillness, it seeks warmth and safety, curling into tight spaces, basking in sunlight, always alert to the world beyond its eyelids. Behind those luminous eyes, a vigilant mind is ever at work, calculating, observing, and waiting. The spirit of the wildcat endures, honed by countless generations of survival in untamed landscapes. Instincts drive the cat to stalk, to crouch low in the grass or shadows, muscles coiled and ready to spring at the faintest rustle. Every stretch, every sudden freeze, is a remnant of the wild, an animal attuned to the subtlest changes in its environment. The flick of a tail signals calculation, the twitch of an ear, acute awareness, the pounce, a perfect execution of predatory skill. Through feline eyes, the world is a tapestry of movement and sound, every shadow a potential quarry, every scent a story. Across continents and climates, kittens emerge into their surroundings, each one a blank slate, inscribed with ancient instincts. Whether among tangled roots, sun-bleached stones, or towering cityscapes, each kitten faces a world brimming with challenges and opportunities. In the quiet of a barn, a kitten learns to move unseen, blending with the shadows, every sense sharpened by the unknown. On sunlit stones, another kitten navigates a maze of scents and sounds, each step a lesson in agility and caution. Amidst the towering structures of a city, a third kitten hones its senses, adapting to a world of vertical spaces and hidden corners. No matter the setting, the essence of the cat remains unchanged, stealthy, curious, and fiercely independent. The lineage of the domestic cat is written in the sinews of lions, the grace of leopards, and the silent power of tigers, a shared heritage of the wild. Every journey begins in darkness as newborn kittens huddle together, their world defined by warmth and scent. Blind and deaf, the newborn is a fragile vessel, guided only by instinct to seek nourishment and safety. The first lessons are learned in the nest, how to find warmth, how to recognize the subtle vibrations of movement. As days pass, muscles strengthen, and the urge to explore grows irresistible. Play fights become rehearsals for future hunts, eyes open to a world of shifting light and shadow, and the mind begins to map every nook and cranny, every possible escape route. Each leap, each chase is a lesson in balance, speed, and precision, skills that will one day mean the difference between life and death. The art of the hunt is passed down through observation and imitation, every movement a step closer to mastery. Even in moments of apparent relaxation, the wild remains, claws flex, eyes narrow, and the body remains poised for action. The cat's gaze lingers on the world beyond, every sound and movement catalogued, every possibility weighed. Adaptation is the cat's greatest strength, scaling heights, squeezing through narrow gaps, transforming any space into a territory. The hunt is never far away. A scrap of paper, a flickering shadow, becomes prey in the mind of the cat. Every surface is a vantage point, every object a potential tool or obstacle in the endless game of survival. In the wild corners of cities and countrysides, cats form loose colonies, each individual carving out its own niche, guided by the same ancient rules. The adaptability of the cat is boundless. Each kitten, each adult, a master of its domain, ever alert, ever wild. In every leap, every calculated pause, the wild heart of the cat endures, untamed, undiminished, and forever free. Our story unfolds in the heart of the French countryside, where rolling fields and ancient hedgerows stretch beneath a wide open sky. Here, in a weathered barn nestled among golden fields, a litter of 5 kittens is born. Their world is defined by the earthy scent of straw, the distant calls of songbirds, and the soft rustle of mice in the shadows. Their mother, a skilled and solitary huntress, has chosen her nursery with care. Deep within a mound of straw, she creates a den, hidden from prying eyes and insulated from the chill of dawn. This instinct to conceal her young is ancient, passed down from wild ancestors who survived by outwitting foxes, owls, and other predators. Every sense is attuned to danger, every movement calculated for stealth. Among the litter is a small grey and white female. She is born into a world where survival depends on silence, patience, and the art of the hunt. In her first days, she knows only the warmth of her mother and the gentle vibrations of purring. Her eyes are sealed, but her nose is alive with the scent of hay, fur, and the faint musk of field mice. As her eyes open, the world is a blur of shapes and shadows. She learns to knead her mother's belly, a motion that not only brings nourishment but also echoes the rhythm of the hunt. Press, release, wait, and pounce. Sleep dominates her early life, but even in dreams her body rehearses the movements of a predator, twitching paws, flicking tail, the silent calculation of distance and timing. By 6 weeks, she ventures beyond the straw nest. The barn is her training ground. Shafts of sunlight reveal dust motes swirling in the air, and every shadow could conceal prey. She and her siblings stalk and pounce, their play a rehearsal for the real hunt. Each leap is measured, each swipe of the paw precise, as they learn to judge distance and speed. These games are vital. Like lion cubs on the savannah, they practice the holds and bites that will one day bring down a mouse or a vole. They learn to grip without harming, to release at the right moment, to read the subtle cues of movement in their prey. As she grows, her senses sharpen. The world is a tapestry of scents, the musky trail of a shrew, the sweet tang of clover, the warning musk of a hedgehog. Her ears swivel independently, catching the faintest rustle in the grass or the flutter of a bird's wing. Alone in the fields, she becomes a silent shadow. Her body hugs the earth, moving with fluid grace through tall grass and wildflowers. Every step is deliberate, her weight distributed to muffle sound. She freezes, eyes locked on a flicker of movement, a mouse foraging at the edge of a thicket, her whiskers fan forward, measuring the width of gaps and the distance to her target. She inhales, sorting the air for the scent of prey. Her pupils narrow, focusing on the slightest twitch of fur. In a heartbeat, she springs. Muscles coil and release in perfect synchrony. Her claws unsheath, gripping the earth, then the prey. The kill is swift. A bite to the neck, a skill honed by generations of hunters before her. Victorious, she carries her prize through the waving grass, tail held high. The countryside is her domain, a patchwork of fields, hedgerows, and secret places where only a true hunter can thrive. After the hunt, she grooms herself meticulously, removing every trace of scent that might betray her next approach. The sun dips low, casting long shadows across the land, and she melts into the dusk, silent, unseen, and ever watchful. In the French countryside, the domestic cat is both predator and phantom, a master of her environment. Her wild instincts remain undimmed, her senses finely tuned to the rhythms of the land. Here she is not merely a pet, but a true hunter, an enduring spirit of the fields. Morissette's journey into farm life begins within the warm, sunlit kitchen of the old farmhouse. Here, the air is thick with the scent of straw and wood smoke, and the floorboards creak beneath her tiny paws. This single room, though modest in size, is a world of discovery, each cupboard, shadow, and patch of sunlight a new frontier to explore. For Morissette, every object becomes a lesson. The jingling of a dropped spoon, the flutter of a moth against the window pane, and the shifting patterns of light all demand her attention. Her senses sharpen as she learns to distinguish the subtle vibrations of a mouse behind the wall from the distant clatter of hooves outside. As the days pass, Morissette's confidence grows. The kitchen door, once a barrier, becomes a gateway to the unknown. When it finally swings open, she is greeted by a world alive with movement and sound, the lowing of cattle, the distant bray of a donkey, and the rustle of wind through tall grass. The farm is a living tapestry of animals, each with its own rhythms and rules. Morissette quickly learns to respect the size and strength of the cows, whose heavy steps shake the earth, and the unpredictable energy of the horses, whose snorts and whinnies echo across the fields. The geese, ever vigilant, form a formidable patrol. Their sharp eyes and honking calls warn her to keep her distance. When they advance, wings outstretched, Morissette's instincts guide her to the safety of the barn's shadow or the sturdy trunk of a nearby tree. Height becomes her ally. From a perch above she surveys the bustling yard, learning the patterns of the animals below. She observes the chickens as they scratch for insects, the sheep as they graze in quiet clusters, and the barn swallows darting through the rafters. Each encounter is a lesson in body language and boundaries. The chickens scatter at her approach, their feathers ruffling in alarm, while the sheep merely glance up, unbothered by her presence. The arrival of a border collie puppy, Jamie, introduces a new dynamic, one of curiosity and cautious play. At first, Morissette's reaction to Jamie is pure instinct. Her back arches, fur bristles, and she stands tall, making herself appear larger. The puppy, all wagging tail and eager eyes, responds with playful bows and yips, unsure of the rules but eager to learn. This standoff is brief. Morissette's fear gives way to curiosity, and she begins to study Jamie's movements, the way he circles, the way he sniffs, the way he invites her to chase. Gradually, a silent understanding forms. Their games become a language of their own, chasing, pouncing, and tumbling through the grass, each learning the other's limits and signals. Beyond the companionship, the farm offers endless opportunities for Morissette to hone her skills. The tall grass conceals field mice and insects, and every rustle is a potential hunt. She learns to move with patience, to freeze at the slightest sound, and to pounce with precision. Her first successful hunt is clumsy but triumphant. She corners a mouse, her heart pounding with excitement. Rather than dispatching it swiftly, she bats it gently, watching as it scurries and then recapturing it, a dance of instinct and inexperience. This play is not cruelty but practice, a rehearsal for the day when her skills must be sharp and her reflexes sure. The drive to hunt, to stalk, and to learn is woven deep into her being, a legacy of wild ancestors that farm life only sharpens. Even with a full belly, Morissette's urge to hunt never fades. The farm is her classroom, its animals her teachers, and every day brings new lessons in survival, adaptation, and the subtle art of coexistence. Our second kitten's journey begins in a world shaped by sun, stone, and sea. On a rugged Greek island, where whitewashed houses cling to rocky hillsides and olive trees sway in the salty breeze, a colony of stray cats has carved out a life among the ruins and alleyways. These cats are the silent inheritors of ancient streets, their ancestors having arrived on ships centuries ago. The landscape is unforgiving. Sun-bleached stones radiate heat by day, and the nights bring a chill that seeps through every crack. Here, every cat is a survivor, relying on sharp instincts and adaptability to endure. Scarred faces and lean bodies tell the story of daily struggles, territorial skirmishes, desperate hunts, and the constant search for sustenance. In the shadow of a crumbling wall, a ginger kitten is born, his fur a bright contrast to the grey stones. He is alone, orphaned before he can even open his eyes to the world. With no mother to guide him, he must learn to navigate the labyrinth of alleyways and terraces on his own. Hunger gnaws at his belly, and his tiny body trembles in the cool dawn air. He hides in the crevices between stones, venturing out only when the sun warms the earth. Nearby, a mother cat tends to her litter, her presence a reminder of what the ginger kitten has lost. Her kittens huddle close, drawing warmth and comfort from her. Even these kittens, protected and fed, show the marks of hardship: dirty fur, wary eyes, and the ever-present tension of survival. One kitten's eye is clouded, a casualty of infection and the scarcity of nourishment. The mother's vigilance gives her litter a crucial edge. She leads them to hidden caches of food, teaches them to stalk lizards in the undergrowth, and shows them how to drink from rainwater pooled in broken pottery. Each day she returns with small prey: an unwary bird, a scurrying mouse, her skills honed by necessity. The ginger orphan watches from afar, his golden eyes fixed on the family he cannot join. He learns by observation, studying how the older cats move, where they find food, and how they avoid danger. When he dares to approach, he is quickly rebuffed by stronger, older cats. His small size and weakness make him an easy target for aggression. The colony's survival strategies are as varied as the landscape. Some cats patrol the rocky shoreline, searching for crabs and insects among the tidal pools. Others climb fig trees, hoping to catch birds or steal fallen fruit. At dawn, the cats gather in the cool shade of the harbour walls, waiting for the day's first opportunities. They are solitary by nature, but necessity forces them into uneasy alliances. As the sun climbs higher, the cats retreat to the shadows, conserving energy and avoiding the midday heat. The ginger kitten curls beneath a broken amphora, his ears alert for the sound of movement. When food appears, a strict hierarchy emerges. The largest, most dominant cats eat first, while the weaker and younger ones wait at the edges, hoping for scraps. The ginger kitten learns to be patient, watching for the moment when the others are distracted or have had their fill. Sometimes a morsel is left behind: a fish head, a piece of bread, a lizard tail. The ginger kitten darts in, snatching what he can before retreating to safety. In these fleeting moments, the colony is united by hunger, their rivalry set aside in the face of shared need. For the ginger orphan, every day is a test of resourcefulness. He learns to listen for the rustle of lizards in the grass, to sniff out the scent of food carried on the wind, and to move silently through the maze of stones and shadows. He remains on the periphery, never fully accepted, but always watching, always learning. Occasionally, the mother cat's leftovers provide a lifeline. The ginger kitten waits until her family is finished, then creeps forward to claim what remains. Each scrap is precious, a lesson in patience, timing, and humility. The food is never enough to satisfy, but it is enough to survive another day. In this ancient landscape, the ginger kitten's days are shaped by the rhythms of the island: the rising sun, the shifting shadows, the ebb and flow of opportunity. He learns that survival is a delicate balance of patience, observation, and the courage to seize every fleeting chance. As the weeks pass, the ginger kitten transforms, his muscles growing lean and strong, his senses sharpening with every passing day. The world around him is a rugged coastline, jagged rocks, tidal pools, and the constant crash of waves against the shore. The air is thick with the scent of salt and seaweed, and the cries of gulls echo overhead. He's no longer a helpless orphan, but a creature shaped by the wild. The colony of fishing cats that roams the harbour is his new family, and their world is one of constant challenge and opportunity. To survive here, he must master the art of fishing, a skill that defies his natural instincts. The water is cold and unpredictable, its surface concealing both danger and reward. Most cats avoid water, but hunger drives him to the edge. He studies the older cats, watching as they move with calculated patience, never rushing, always alert. The technique is precise: a slow, deliberate approach, body pressed low to the stone, eyes locked on the flicker of silver beneath the surface. Timing is everything. A single swift swipe of the paw, claws unsheathed, and the fish is flung onto the rocks. His first attempts are awkward. Paws splashing, fish escaping, fur soaked and heavy, but instinct and observation guide him. He learns to read the water, to sense the subtle vibrations of prey moving below. He adapts, shifting his weight to minimize ripples, holding his breath to steady his focus. He discovers that dawn and dusk are the best times to hunt, when the tide is low and the pools are teeming with life. The environment is unforgiving. Sharp barnacles cut his pads and sudden waves threaten to sweep him away. Yet he learns to navigate the slippery rocks with agility, using his tail for balance and his keen eyesight to spot the slightest flicker of movement. Over time, his patience grows. He learns to wait, motionless, for minutes on end, blending into the reeds and shadows. When the moment comes, he strikes with speed and precision, his instincts honed by necessity. Each successful catch is a victory, a testament to his adaptability. He grooms his wet fur in the sun, savoring the taste of fresh fish, his body fueled for another day of survival. The coastline becomes his domain, a place of constant change, where tides reshape the land and every day brings new challenges. He learns to anticipate the rhythms of the sea, to exploit the opportunities it offers, and to endure its hardships. In this harsh, beautiful world, the ginger cat is no longer just a survivor. He is a true fishing cat, an animal transformed by his environment, instincts sharpened, skills refined, thriving on the edge of land and sea. Imagine Tokyo not as a city of people, but as a vast, ever-shifting landscape seen through the eyes of a cat. The city pulses with energy. Towering buildings rise like silent cliffs, neon lights flicker in the dusk, and the hum of distant trains vibrates through the concrete underpour. For a cat, space is a precious commodity. Narrow alleys become secret passageways, rooftop gardens transform into private jungles, and the smallest balcony is a coveted lookout post. The city is a patchwork of invisible borders, territories marked not by fences but by scent and memory. Each window ledge, each shadowed corner is claimed and defended. At dawn, the city is quiet. The cat slips through the maze of alleyways, whiskers twitching, paws silent on the cool pavement. She pauses beneath a vending machine, alert to the faintest rustle of a hidden insect or the flutter of a sparrow's wings. Navigating Tokyo's labyrinth requires agility and cunning. She leaps from bicycle seat to trash bin, scaling walls with practiced ease. Every surface is a potential path, every gap a doorway to new discoveries. From her vantage point high above the street, the city unfolds in a tapestry of movement and sound. She watches the flow of traffic, the flutter of pigeons, the shifting patterns of light and shadow. Grooming is not just a ritual, but a necessity. Dust and city grime cling to her fur, and she meticulously cleans each pore, keeping her coat sleek and her senses sharp. Hunting in the city is a test of patience and precision. She stalks her prey, sometimes a moth drawn to a street lamp, sometimes a mouse darting beneath a vending machine, with the same focus as her wild ancestors. Obstacles are everywhere. Fences, locked doors, and sudden noises demand constant vigilance. She learns to read the city's rhythms, to anticipate danger, and to find safety in the most unlikely places. Rest is found in fleeting moments, a patch of sunlight on a rooftop, the quiet shelter beneath a parked car. Here she closes her eyes, ears attuned to the distant sounds of the city, always ready to spring into action. Balance is everything. She moves with confidence along the narrowest ledges, tail swaying for counterweight, every muscle attuned to the city's verticality. The air is thick with scents, food, other cats, the distant tang of rain. She catalogues each one, building a mental map of her territory and the creatures who share it. Encounters with other cats are tense and silent. A flick of the tail, a narrowed gaze, a low growl. These are the negotiations of city life, where every meeting could mean alliance or rivalry. Night brings new challenges. The city glows with artificial light, but shadows deepen. She moves quickly, avoiding the rush of cars and the sudden approach of larger animals. From her perch she surveys her domain. The city is vast, but she knows every shortcut, every hiding place, every echo of her own footsteps. Water is scarce, but after rain, she finds puddles that mirror the city's neon glow. She drinks cautiously, always alert to the world around her. As dawn breaks, she stretches, ready to begin another day of exploration. The city is her wilderness, filled with challenges and opportunities, a place where instinct and adaptability are the keys to survival. In this urban jungle, the cat is both hunter and survivor, a silent shadow weaving her own story through the heart of Tokyo. In the heart of the city, a domestic cat's world is not limited to the floor. It stretches upward, transforming the apartment into a vertical jungle. Every ledge, shelf, and piece of furniture becomes a potential lookout or pathway. The cat's natural agility and powerful hind legs allow her to leap astonishing distances, conquering heights with ease. She explores every nook and cranny, weaving through tight spaces and balancing on impossibly thin surfaces. Her whiskers act as sensitive guides, measuring gaps and ensuring safe passage. From these elevated vantage points, she surveys her territory, alert to every movement and sound. The vertical space offers both security and a sense of control, echoing the instincts of her wild ancestors who sought safety in the trees. Climbing is not just a means of travel. It is a form of play, exercise, and mental stimulation. Each leap and stretch hones her muscles and sharpens her reflexes, keeping her body and mind agile. The highest spots become coveted retreats, warm with sunlight or hidden in shadow. Here she can rest undisturbed, invisible to the world below, yet always ready to spring into action. The urban environment offers endless opportunities for exploration. Windows and balconies become portals to the outside world, where she can watch birds, insects, and the ever-changing city below. Every object is a potential discovery. She investigates plants, bags, and boxes, using her keen senses to map her environment and satisfy her endless curiosity. She marks her territory with scent and claw, claiming the vertical world as her own. Each surface bears the subtle traces of her presence, a silent declaration of ownership and belonging. Even in the heights, grooming remains a vital ritual. She pauses to clean her fur, maintaining her sleek coat and reinforcing her sense of self amid the ever-changing landscape. In this vertical jungle, the domestic cat is both explorer and ruler, adapting, climbing, and thriving in a world built for humans, yet perfectly suited to her wild, agile spirit. Across continents and environments, from bustling city streets to quiet rural fields, domestic cats move with a silent, calculated grace. Their bodies are low to the ground, muscles coiled beneath sleek fur, every step measured and deliberate. The world around them is a tapestry of scents and sounds, each one a potential clue in the ancient game of predator and prey. The hunt begins with the stalk. A cat's body becomes a study in patience and precision. Shoulders ripple beneath the skin, tail held low, eyes locked on the slightest movement, a fluttering leaf, a scurrying insect, or the subtle twitch of a mouse's ear. Every muscle is attuned to the rhythm of the hunt, suppressing all but the most essential movements. This behavior is not learned, but inherited. It is a living memory passed down from wild ancestors who survived by their wits and senses alone. The domestic cat's mind is a map of instinctual strategies honed over millennia in the wild landscapes of the Fertile Crescent and beyond. In the wild, the stalk is a test of endurance and focus. The cat's breathing slows, whiskers splay forward, and the world narrows to a single point of attention. The prey is unaware, but the cat is relentless, closing the distance inch by inch, paws landing with the silence of falling snow. When the moment is right, the chase erupts. In a blur of motion, the cat springs forward, back legs launching its body with explosive power. The pounce is a marvel of biomechanics, spine flexing, claws unsheathing, jaws parting in anticipation. The entire sequence is executed with a precision that leaves little chance for escape. Even within the safety of a home, these instincts remain undiluted. A house cat will stalk a dust mote or a shadow with the same intensity as a wild cat tracking a bird. The environment may change, but the predator within is constant, alert, calculating, and always ready to strike. Unlike other domesticated animals, the cat's evolution has preserved its predatory essence. Selective breeding has altered little. The domestic cat's form and function remain nearly identical to its wild relatives. Their bodies are built for stealth and speed. Limbs are long and supple, paws cushioned for silent movement, and claws retractable, kept razor-sharp for the decisive moment. The family Felidae is defined by these traits. Whether lion, tiger, or house cat, the blueprint is unmistakable. A round head, a flat muzzle, and formidable protractable claws. Their skeletons are marvels of flexibility. A cat can twist in midair, righting itself in a fall, or contort its body to squeeze through impossibly narrow spaces. This agility is not just for play. It is the legacy of a hunter that must adapt to every challenge. The eyes are the hunter's most vital tool. Large, forward-facing, and capable of detecting the faintest movement, they are windows into a world of perpetual alertness. The pupils expand and contract with the light, always seeking the optimal view. The hunt is not always about hunger. It is a compulsion, a ritual that defines the cat's existence. The sequence, stalk, chase, pounce, is repeated endlessly, each time as vital as the last. On the farm, the cat's senses are alive to every rustle in the grass, every scent on the wind. The mouse is not just prey, but a challenge, a test of skill and patience. Along the rocky coast, the ginger cat's world is shaped by the tides and the shifting sands. Crabs scuttle beneath rocks, and the cat's eyes track their every move, calculating the perfect moment to strike. In the quiet of a cafe, a cat's focus is undiminished. Toys become prey, and the hunt is as real as any in the wild. The leap, the swat, the triumphant capture, each is a celebration of instinct. The choreography of the hunt is universal. Whether in a forest or a living room, the sequence is unchanged. The slow approach, the sudden burst of speed, the final decisive pounce. Hunger is not the only motivator. The drive to hunt is woven into the cat's very being, compelling it to pursue, capture, and conquer, regardless of need. Even with a full belly, the cat's eyes scan for movement, its body ready to spring. The ancient impulse is irresistible, a force that has shaped the species for millions of years. In every domestic cat, the wild endures. Behind the calm gaze and gentle purr lies a creature forever attuned to the rhythms of the hunt. Their senses are instruments of survival. Ears pivot independently, capturing the faintest rustle or chirp. Eyes adjust to the dimmest light, revealing a world invisible to others. The cat's hearing is acute, able to detect frequencies far beyond human range. A single squeak in the grass, a whisper of movement in the shadows, and the cat is instantly alert. Their night vision is extraordinary. A reflective layer behind the retina, the tapetum lucidum, amplifies every glimmer of light, allowing the cat to see in near-total darkness. Whiskers are more than adornment. They are finely tuned sensors, detecting air currents and the slightest changes in the environment. In darkness, they guide the cat with unerring accuracy. Whether prowling a moonlit alley or navigating a shadowed room, the domestic cat is a master of its domain. The unchanged predator within remains, a living testament to the wild origins that still shape every movement, every sense, and every silent hunt. The journey of our three kittens reveals a profound truth about the animals we share our lives with, creatures whose companionship is shaped by instincts honed over millennia. Whether they are navigating the shifting alliances of a barnyard, surviving the unpredictable rhythms of the city, or exploring the quiet corners of a home, their wild nature endures, expressed in every movement and interaction. Morissette, the farm cat, relies on her keen senses and silent communication to hunt and to negotiate her place among other animals, her every gesture a blend of caution and confidence. The ginger stray adapts to hardship by reading the subtle cues of rivals and allies alike, learning to coexist, compete, and sometimes collaborate in the ever-changing urban wild. Kurumi, the cafe cat, channels her predatory drive into playful chases and mock battles, her interactions with fellow felines a dance of trust, rivalry, and mutual understanding. Though we have brought these small carnivores into our world, their senses remain tuned to the wild, ears pricked for distant rustles, eyes tracking the faintest movement. We see their wildness in the way they play, their bodies coiled with potential, every leap and tumble a rehearsal for survival. Their interactions with each other, gentle nuzzles, shared grooming, and subtle signals, speak of bonds forged in the language of their ancestors. The gentle kneading that shows their affection is a relic of their earliest days, a gesture of comfort and connection that persists into adulthood. The instinct to climb, to seek the highest vantage, is a strategy for both safety and observation, a silent assertion of their place in the world. The sharing of a captured mouse, a gesture of trust and social connection, is a sign that these animals recognize each other as companions, as members of a shared world. Their behaviors form a constant bridge between the safety of shelter and the call of the untamed, a dance between comfort and curiosity. This duality, wild and domestic, solitary and social, gives their companionship a depth and complexity that is both mysterious and deeply moving. They offer connection and affection, but always on their own terms, guided by an inner compass that points to independence. Their fierce independence, their solitary explorations, are echoes of an ancient lineage, predators shaped by the demands of survival. Even in the heart of our homes, they carry the wild within them, a reminder that the mysterious and untamable still has a place in our lives. They move between worlds, one paw in the light of our understanding, three paws in the shadowed realm of instinct and memory. Every kitten's story is one of learning, adaptation, and the enduring power of instinct, each moment of play a lesson in survival. They are born with a genetic inheritance refined over millions of years, a toolkit for hunting, for self-reliance, for life on the edge of the wild. We may offer them comfort and safety, but the wild heart within them beats strong and untamed, a living link to their ancient past. And perhaps that is as it should be, for in their independence, their grace, and their mysterious ways, they bring a touch of wild magic into the lives of all who share their world. As the world retreats into darkness and the hush of night settles over city and countryside alike, a transformation takes place. For the domestic cat, dusk is not an ending, but an invitation, a gateway to a secret world few ever witness. Beneath the quiet surface of sleeping homes and slumbering streets, their true nature awakens. Morissette slips through a crack in the barn door, her movements fluid and silent. Her pupils swell, wide and unblinking, capturing every glimmer of moonlight. In the stillness, her senses come alive. The faintest scurry of a mouse in the hay, the subtle flutter of a moth's wing, each sound is magnified, mapped, and catalogued. Her whiskers quiver, reading the texture of the air, detecting the gentle pulse of breath from hidden prey. On the city's edge, the ginger stray prowls alleyways, transformed by shadow. His world is painted in shades of grey and silver, every detail sharpened by the extraordinary vision that turns night into day. He climbs effortlessly to a rooftop, pausing to scan the patchwork of gardens and neon-lit windows. Here, the night is alive with opportunity. He watches, waits, and listens, ears swiveling to catch the distant rumble of a motorbike, the soft footfall of a rival, the delicate squeak of a rat below. Kurumi, the cafe cat, explores her domain with a different intent. She stalks through the hushed corridors and empty chairs, pausing to bat at a dust mote drifting in a shaft of moonlight. Her world is one of curiosity and subtle games, every shadow a potential hiding place, every corner a new adventure. She tests each surface with gentle paws, moving with the assurance of a born hunter, her tail flicking in anticipation. Throughout the night, the trio's paths diverge and converge, each guided by instincts honed for the darkness. The farm fields, the city rooftops, the quiet interiors, each becomes a territory to explore, claim, and defend. Their bodies are made for this hour, muscles coiled for sudden bursts of speed, senses tuned to the smallest disturbance, hearts beating in rhythm with the wild pulse of the night. Without the presence of humans, their world expands. They become shadows within shadows, slipping through fences and across rooftops, vanishing into undergrowth or reappearing in a pool of silver light. The night is a tapestry woven from scent trails, secret signals, and silent communication. When they cross paths, it is with a cautious grace, a pause, a flick of the tail, a silent negotiation of boundaries. As dawn approaches and the world stirs, their adventures recede into memory. They return to their resting places, hayloft, alley, window ledge, curling in on themselves as the first rays of sun chase the darkness away. The mysteries of their nocturnal lives remain hidden, revealed only in the twitch of a dreaming paw, the faint echo of a midnight hunt, and the quiet confidence of creatures born to rule the night. In the silent hours between dusk and dawn, cats converse in a language invisible to the untrained eye and inaudible to most ears. This is not the chatter of birds or the howling of wolves, but a subtle, intricate code woven from movement, sound, and scent. On the edge of the barn, Morissette arches her back, tail raised high and fur slightly bristled. It is a message, clear as any spoken word, confidence, ownership, a silent claim to the territory she patrols. Moments later, her body softens, tail tip flicking in gentle arcs. She signals curiosity, a willingness to approach, if only the wind and the shadows agree. Across the city, the ginger stray weaves through a labyrinth of fences. He pauses, rubbing his cheek against a crumbling brick. With this act, he leaves a trace. Pheromones from glands tucked beneath his whiskers. To other cats, this invisible signature is a declaration. I was here. This is my path. He pauses again, tail upright in friendly greeting as another stray appears. Their bodies form a silent dialogue. Ears angled forward in interest, then turned sideways in caution, a slow blink softening the moment. A gesture of trust, an unspoken truce. Kurumi, the cafe cat, explores her moonlit domain with a different conversation. She chirrups softly, a high-pitched trill that echoes through empty chairs, announcing her presence to any feline nearby. In the shadows, her tail twitches with anticipation, and her ears twist like radar dishes to track every sound. When a rival's scent lingers on a cushion, she responds with a low, rumbling growl, a warning, a boundary set with nothing but air and vibration. Vocalizations flow through their world in subtle streams. A quick, sharp meow signals excitement or surprise. A soft, rolling purr vibrates with contentment. A hiss severs the air, all sharp warning and electric tension. Yet most of their language is silent. A slow, deliberate blink to diffuse tension, a sidelong glance to invite play, the positioning of whiskers to reflect mood, flattened in fear, forward in focus. Scent is their invisible ink. With every rub, scratch, and spray, cats write their stories on the world around them. Each message is layered: ownership, readiness, reassurance, warning, building a complex map that guides them through the invisible territories of their lives. No words are spoken, yet every tail flick, every ear twitch, every ripple of fur carries meaning. These are the secret conversations of cats, rich, nuanced, and endlessly expressive, a silent symphony unfolding in the hidden corners of the night. As the world sleeps, the domain of the domestic cat is far from empty. In this twilight territory, cats are not alone. They share their space with a cast of animal neighbors, each encounter shaping the quiet drama of the night. In the countryside, Morissette circles the barn's edge, her whiskers twitching as she detects the soft rustle of a field mouse beneath the hay. The mouse freezes, scenting her presence, but Morissette pauses, her predatory instincts tempered by familiarity. This is not their first meeting. The mouse scurries along a well-worn path, and Morissette simply observes, acknowledging a fellow survivor. Their silent truce is born not of friendship, but of mutual respect. Each knows the rules, each keeps their distance. On the city rooftops, the ginger stray moves with practiced stealth, shadowed by the flutter of pigeons nesting under the eaves. A sudden movement. The birds take flight, startled, their wings slicing the silence. The stray watches them go, tail flicking in mild amusement. Sometimes the birds' discarded feathers become toys. Other times their presence is a signal. Where there are pigeons, there are crumbs, and where there are crumbs, there are smaller creatures to hunt. Kurumi, the cafe cat, slips through the alleyways, pausing at the edge of a trash can where a family of raccoons rummages. The raccoons notice her, their chittering quieting as they size up the interloper. Kurumi lowers her body, ears angled back in caution, signaling her intent. She is not here to challenge, only to pass through. The raccoons, unimpressed, return to their feast, and Kurumi moves on, the boundaries between species maintained by subtle cues and unspoken agreements. Elsewhere, a tabby meets the wide-eyed gaze of a hedgehog crossing the garden. The hedgehog halts, bristling defensively. The tabby sniffs the air, recognizing the scent of spines and earth. A slow blink, a respectful retreat, each animal honoring the other's space, their coexistence negotiated in the language of body and breath. In these encounters, competition and curiosity intertwine. A fox's distant bark, the skitter of a squirrel, the silent flight of an owl. Each animal leaves its mark, and the cat, ever observant, reads these signs. Sometimes paths cross in tense standoffs, other times in fleeting alliances, like the shared pursuit of a rodent or the communal watch for predators larger than themselves. The world of the domestic cat is a tapestry of interactions, woven from cautious approaches, wary retreats, and the constant negotiation of territory. Here, every animal is both neighbor and rival, and every meeting is a lesson in diplomacy, quiet, complex, and endlessly fascinating. In the intricate web of urban gardens, rural barns, and city streets, the cat remains a master of coexistence, adapting to the rhythms of creatures great and small, always alert, always aware. Across continents and climates, domestic cats have become silent masters of adaptation, molding their lives to the shifting demands of the world's varied landscapes. From the arid heat of desert towns to the biting chill of northern forests, each cat's body and behavior reveals subtle, ingenious adjustments. In the sun-baked villages of North Africa, slender cats with short, pale coats slip between shadows, conserving energy and water as they navigate stone alleys and dusty courtyards. Here, the midday sun is relentless, so these cats become creatures of the dawn and dusk, hunting and exploring when the air is cool and the world is hushed. Their ears, larger and thinner than most, help shed heat and catch the faintest sounds of prey scurrying beneath the sand. Far to the north, in the snow-draped towns of Scandinavia, the local cats sport thick, double-layered fur, their bodies stockier to conserve heat. Paws are broad and furred, acting as natural snowshoes, allowing them to tread silently over icy ground. When winter winds howl, these cats seek shelter in crevices, under porches, or within the cozy confines of abandoned barns, their breath steaming in the frigid air. Hunting is more challenging here. The crunch of snow betrays every step, and so patience becomes their greatest tool. On tropical islands, cats move with the languid grace of the humid afternoon. Their coats are short and sleek, their colors blending with dappled sunlight and leafy shade. Here, the threat of rain is constant, so they learn to read the sky, seeking refuge in palm thickets or beneath stilted huts before the first drops fall. Food is abundant: lizards, insects, and the occasional fish, plucked from shallow tidal pools with swift, practiced paws. In the rugged highlands and wind-swept moors, cats grow wary and resourceful. Rocky outcrops provide both vantage points and shelter, and the ever-changing weather demands flexibility. Their coats shift with the seasons, thickening as cold approaches, shedding as warmth returns. Here these cats rely on memory, recalling the safest paths, the warmest stones, and the hidden dens where prey is plentiful. Even within the same city, microclimates shape feline life. In humid river valleys, cats avoid the dampest hours, while in coastal towns they learn the rhythms of the tides, timing their hunts to the ebb and flow of the sea. No matter the terrain, desert, forest, mountain, or shore, the cat's ability to adapt is a quiet marvel. Their survival is not just a matter of instinct, but of observation, experimentation, and memory. Each whisker, each paw step, each flick of the tail is a testament to their resilience. In every corner of the world, from the hottest sands to the coldest snows, domestic cats endure, not by conquering their environment, but by becoming a part of it, perfectly attuned to the land beneath their feet and the sky above their watchful eyes. Step quietly into the hidden world of the domestic cat, a universe shaped not by sight alone, but by a complex tapestry of senses that reveal layers of reality invisible to most. For the cat, every moment is painted in shades of perception, each sense finely tuned for survival, exploration, and play. Vision is their window to the twilight. While the world dims for others, cats thrive in the half-light of dawn and dusk. Their eyes, wide and luminous, gather even the faintest glimmers, transforming shadows into landscapes rich with movement. The slit-shaped pupils expand and contract with precision, allowing them to read the subtle flicker of a moth's wing or the silent scurry of a mouse. To a cat, colors are muted, blues and greens stand out, while reds fade into the background, but where color falters, motion and contrast reign. In the darkness, the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina, amplifies every photon, making night nearly as clear as day. Hearing, too, is a sense sharpened by evolution. The cat's ears, ever alert and independently swiveling, catch the quietest rustle of grass or the distant chirp of a hidden insect. Frequencies beyond human reach, ultrasonic cries of small prey, are as clear as a bell. Even the faintest tremor on the wind is enough to turn a cat's head, eyes narrowing, body tensing for the hunt. The world is alive with sounds that speak of opportunity and danger, every note a clue in the silent symphony of their environment. Smell is a language all its own. With each breath, a cat reads invisible messages layered upon the air. Their noses twitch, sorting scents with astonishing accuracy, tracing the path of a mouse, marking the boundaries of territory, or sensing the approach of rain. The Jacobson's organ, nestled in the roof of the mouth, deciphers pheromones, unlocking stories of rival cats, potential mates, and recent visitors. Through scent, the cat maps its world, past and present, overlapping in a fragrant record of life. Touch is the silent guide. Whiskers, delicate, sensitive, and exquisitely tuned, extend from cheeks and legs, measuring the width of gaps, the texture of surfaces, the vibration of air. Even the slightest brush against a whisker sends signals to the brain, painting a three-dimensional picture in the darkness. The pads of their paws, soft yet resilient, feel the tremble of footsteps, the coolness of stone, the subtle give of moss. Each step is a conversation between the cat and the world beneath its feet. In this sensory tapestry, the domestic cat moves with confidence and grace, perceiving what others cannot. Their universe is one of whispers and glimmers, scents and vibrations, a world alive with secrets, waiting to be discovered with every silent prowl and curious gaze.